Easter weekend signalled the 23rd edition of the annual Metropolitan Premier Cup. For aspiring South African youth footballers, it's the stuff dreams are made of. The Under-19 tournament is held here at Erica Park, Bayhill in the mother city. It's arguably the country's biggest, oldest and most successful youth competition. Premier Soccer League clubs like Kaizer Chiefs, Ajax Cape Town, Mamelodi Sundowns and Morocco Swallows are regulars. Local clubs and football academies also compete for this, the biggest youth prize in the country.
This year around we've got four teams from the South African region. We've got Lesotho, Botswana, Namibia and Zimbabwe. And then we've got 18 teams from Cape Town itself. The rest of the teams are from over South Africa.
Well, the task was to keep the children off the streets. You know that when you played under 18, if you weren't good enough to go to the first team, we lost those children there. And Roger came up with the idea that somewhere or other we've got to keep them in sport, keep them living clean. So what we did, we established the Under-19 tournament.
In 2008, Ajax Cape Town lifted the title, thrashing Bloemfontein Celtic 6-0. The then Urban Warriors Under-19 side included Samir Doughty, scoring the opening goal in the final with this stunning free kick. Doughty is now a regular in the Ajax Cape Town PSL side. Dalen Klaassen also found the net in that match and was named player of the tournament. He's now playing in Europe and is a Bafana Bafana regular. Like Thulani Hlatshwayo, Cole Alexander and Mario Boyson, several members of the 2008 title-winning side are now established professional footballers.
Most of the guys that come from Ajax went on and made the best of their careers after the Bayhill tournament.
It's one of the biggest youth tournaments in the country. And yeah, that's the start of where you get selected.
The following year, Mamelodi Sundowns was a house on fire. The Brazilians Under-19s bulldozed every team they came up against and scooped their first ever Premier Cup title in spectacular style. They beat Morocco Swallows 1-0 in the final. Sianda Tulu, now an established member of Sundowns' PSL side, led from the back and is now a Bafana Bafana regular. In 2010, the Metropolitan Premier Cup celebrated its 21st anniversary. SuperSport United beat Baltic Rangers 3-1 in the final. 4 players from the victorious SuperSport United side were promoted to Matsatsansa's PSL team. So, who will lift the 2011 Metropolitan Premier Cup? And who will rise to fame? Defending champions SuperSport United was seeded in Group A. Tshwane neighbours University of Pretoria along with Salt River Blackpool and Mr Price Parkhurst came from the bowl to form Group A. Salt River Blackpool in blue and Mr Price Parkhurst in red shared the spoils in an entertaining draw in the opening match of the tournament. Blackpool sped to a 2-0 half-time lead, but Mr Price dug deep to earn a point in the second half. Pretoria University in light blue began their campaign with a 4-0 thrashing of Salt River Blackpool. The top 2 teams of each group qualifies for the last 16. And with 2 wins and a draw, SuperSport United qualified for the last 16 top of Group A along with Mr Price Parkhurst. In Group B, host club Bayhill United were drawn against debutants Stars of Africa Academy, Sydenham Cavaliers and Cape Town Academy. Bayhill United started the competition on a bright note. They were awarded a penalty early on against Stars of Africa to take a 1-0 lead. But their joy was short-lived as Stars ran out to 1 winners. Stars qualified for the knockout stage unbeaten with a 100% record and with 7 goals, qualified as the highest scoring team in the group stages. Cape Town Academy qualified in 2nd position. 2010 semi-finalist Vasco da Gama, local rivals Hanover Park, ASD Cape Town and Zimbabwean visitors Young Warriors formed a tough Group C. ASD in white beat Young Warriors 1-0 to register their 2nd successive victory. In a local derby, Vasco da Gama in white sent Hanover Park crashing from the tournament with a 2-1 win with this winning goal. ASD impressed with an exciting brand of football and emerged with an unblemished record from the group stage. Vasco da Gama followed in 2nd place. 4-time winners Ajax Cape Town, Commercio, City Lovers and Milano United formed the group of death. Namibian debutants Commercio FC started their campaign on a winning note. Although City Lovers took the lead from this free kick, sloppy defending from 2 consecutive corners handed Commercio an easy 2-1 win. In 2008 champions Ajax Cape Town opened their account with a 2-1 triumph over Milano United. Then Ajax faced a true test against Commercio. The Urban Warriors failed to make use of their chances. Commercio ran out 2-1 winners. Milano United recovered from a goal down to beat City Lovers 3-1 in Group D. Commercio qualified top of Group D, while Ajax Cape Town followed as runners-up. It was disappointment for City Lovers and Milano United. Group E consisted of 2009 champions Mamelodi Sundowns, Oregon Spurs, Belfast Spurs and Botswana side Tepetsana. Oregon earned a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Belfast Spurs in yellow. The home side gave Tshwane Glamour Club Mamelodi Sundowns a tough match, ultimately crashed to their 2nd consecutive defeat and dashing their knockout stage hopes. Mamelodi Sundowns yet again impressed and finished top of the Group E log standings with an unbeaten record. Sundowns and Tepetsana qualified for the last 16 from Group E. Santos, Bashlabani, Morgan Stay United and Riverside Rangers came out of the hat for Group F. 2-time Premier Cup champions Santos made light work of tournament debutants Morgan Stay United. The People's team won their first match 2-0 to earn maximum points. Santos then ensured a last 16 spot with a 2-0 win over Bashlabani from Lesotho. So Santos finished top of the Group F log standings, unbeaten to qualify for the last 16. They were joined by Morgan Stay United in the knockout phase. Kaizer Chiefs, 2010 runners-up Baltic Rangers, Old Mutual Academy and West Coast club Robbenvale Spurs made up Group G. Baltic Rangers beat Old Mutual Academy 1-0 to get Group G underway. Kaizer Chiefs collected 3 easy points when they played Robbenvale Spurs. The Spurs goalkeeper making a meal of this shot. Rangers were keen to go one step further than last year's runners-up spot. With 2 wins and a draw, they qualified top of Group G, and Kaizer Chiefs finished second. Group H looked like this. Swallows FC of Port Elizabeth thrashed visiting English team South Nottingham College 3-0. The first goal coming from the penalty spot, and the second with this smart lob. Swallows FC then surprised everyone by going top of the group with an impressive 3-1 defeat of Bloemfontein Celtic. Swallows topped Group H ahead of Bloemfontein Celtic and Morocco Swallows. Metropolitan's partnership with the Premier Cup started in 1989. Since then, the Premier Cup has evolved Metropolitan's corporate social investment objectives, so much so that Metropolitan increased its investment in youth development football. 3 years ago, they forged a relationship with the South African Schools Football Association to form the Metropolitan Under-19 Cup. Their footprints soon reached the African continent with the CUSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship. Each of these endeavours dovetails into the other, forming a cohesive network which supports youth football. These tournaments also go a long way in providing opportunities for local business. In December 2010, financial services company Momentum and Metropolitan formally merged and were listed on the JSE as MMI Holdings Limited to form the 3rd biggest long-term insurance company on the stock exchange.
Metropolitan has a particular focus in terms of community development, and we remain committed to what is existing currently in terms of community development projects that we've been involved with. From an MMI perspective, we want to encourage Metropolitan and Momentum to carry on with whatever social responsibility programs that they will be having.
A key part of every Metropolitan football tournament is its obligatory life skills sessions for all players who participate. Top industry professionals present issues like HIV and AIDS, building your own brand, and even financial management in an exciting interactive format. But the biggest impact the tournament has made during its 23-year history is unearthing new talent. Many of the country's most successful footballers played in the Metropolitan Premier Cup.
Yeah, it was a big occasion for me. Yeah, it was a tough level for me to progress to, but it definitely laid the foundations for my football career.
At the tournament, in our group stages, in the first 2 or 3 games, the next day, Budgie Byrne at the time was the coach of Hellenic. He came to the tournament and he brought me a contract to sign in the first team. So things definitely happened at that tournament, and that was the stepping stone for me to play in the PSL.
Those in the know praise the competition.
If you really watch football here, how many times am I Cape Town watching Bayhill tournament? Don't miss it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Don't miss it.
The top 2 teams of each group qualify for the last 16, and this is how they lined up for the knockout stage. The tournament reached fever pitch during the knockout stage. ASD in white continued their impressive football prowess with an emphatic 4-0 last 16 victory over Cape Town Academy. Commercio earned the title as tournament favourites after beating Mr. Price 1-0. Kaizer Chiefs qualified for the quarterfinals when they sent Santos home with a narrow 1-0 win. After causing a stir, Swallows FC ran out of steam and were eliminated by Botswana's side, the Pitsana, 1-0. The SuperSport United Ajax Cape Town last 16 encounter was settled on penalties. This after playing to a goalless draw. Ajax surviving the resulting penalty shootout 5-3. Stars and Vasco da Gama could also not break the deadlock. Stars progressing 4-3 on penalties. And Mamelodi Sundowns also experienced the cruelty of a penalty shootout elimination at the hands of Bloemfontein Celtic.
We were better than Ajax in all departments throughout the game. We created the better of the chances. But penalties, everybody says it's a lottery. The best kick of the penalty is the one that missed today. But we take that in good spirit. Hopefully the lessons have been learned from the tournament.
Every year, scouts from all corners of the country flock to Erica Park to identify talent. This year was no different.
If you look at the quality of players they produce, Metropolitan in this tournament for PSL, it's amazing.
Ajax Cape Town overcame Bloemfontein Celtic in the first of the quarterfinals to secure their spot in the last four. Substitute Matthew Roeder scored the only goal of the match late in the second half. The Stars of Africa Academy in blue needed extra time before progressing 3-2 at the expense of the Pitsana of Botswana. Stars fell behind twice, first from this Carden Dunn own goal. Minutes later, Junaid Said equalized for Stars. But Makemo handed the Pitsana the lead again. Sandile Hadebe then levelled matters. Before his second of the match proved to be the winner. ASD Academy met Kaizer Chiefs in a dramatic quarter-final clash. Masahelo Sianego pouncing for Chiefs. ASD then equalized through Ayanda Patosi with a neat passing move from their own half. But ASD became their own enemy when they served Alton Masheke an easy chance for Chiefs to go 2-1 up. Devon Saul later equalized for ASD to send the match into a penalty shootout. ASD then progressed 3-2 in the ensuing penalty shootout. In an exciting matchup, Ajax Cape Town and ASD were drawn to meet in the semi-final. And Gauteng-based Stars of Africa Academy faced visiting Namibian side Komesho FC in the other semi-final. ASD started the match with more enterprising play, but failed to convert their goal-scoring chances. And from their first attack, Ajax Cape Town grabbed the lead. ASD continued with their impressive passing style football and missed yet another chance. But ASD got their reward from this free kick. Which struck the crossbar and then led to a penalty. The match then produced a dramatic penalty shootout. But it was the ASD goalkeeper who turned out to be the difference between the two teams, sending ASD into the final.
I feel disappointed for the lads. I think we came out as we prepared, tried to take the game to the opposition. We got our goal. Thereafter, we had two, three good chances to take the game by the scruff of the neck and add a second. And when you don't add that second, you're always vulnerable.
Comesho from Namibia faced Farouk Khan's Stars of Africa Academy. Comesho dominated from the start and scored from this far post header. After that, they defended their lead and progressed to the final in their first ever Premier Cup appearance.
We're proud of our boys. At the end of the day, they've overachieved our expectations, and we're really happy with what they've done as far as football is concerned.
An intense and nail-biting 2011 Metropolitan Premier Cup final was predicted, and so it turned out. Two sides with contrasting styles of football. ASD dominated from the start. But it was Comesho who, against the run of play, took the lead early in the first half. Randall Goa-Goseb found the net barely 2 minutes into the match. Captain Sandni Urikob doubled Comesho's lead with this 26th minute cracker from just inside the penalty area to send the Namibians into the break with a healthy lead. The partisan home crowd finally had something to cheer about midway through the second half. Substitute Armin Campbell nodded in from this free kick. Comesho, however, restored their 2-goal advantage minutes later, with Goa-Goseb tapping home his second from close range from a corner. The plucky ASD players refused to give up and managed to set up a tense finish when Campbell converted his second of the match. But ASD's comeback efforts were in vain. Comesho did enough to keep the scoreline 3-2 until the final whistle. In their first ever appearance at the Metropolitan Premier Cup, Comesho from Namibia did the unlikely and won the biggest youth prize on the continent to the delight of former Santos midfielder, now Comesho coach, Ricardo Manetti.
I know the tempo of the Bayhill tournament. I know how the teams and how the coaches prepare for this tournament. You know, it's all about tempo, it's speed. It's a very competitive tournament, and I prepared obviously my team accordingly, and I'm just over the moon that we won the cup at the end of the day.
The Comesho side, I think they deserve to be winners. I must commend them on that, and yeah, they were a difficult side to beat, more physical, but it was a good yardstick for our boys as well.
I think for the first time that the trophy has left South Africa, it's gone to Namibia, and they were a deserving team. But I think a lot of the Cape Town team, especially the Cape Town amateur teams, did a lot of a good showing, and those are the teams that we play with from October up until February. So for us, when you can see that they can compete against a professional soccer league team and also the internationally based team, it really makes us very happy.
We are very, very grateful to COSAFA and the local organizers to have invited some of the COSAFA teams to come here. If I had my own way, I would have the whole of COSAFA to come here and participate in this. Because it can only be that we all integrate and then improve as we go forward.
A number of awards were presented at the prize-giving ceremony. ASD received the Team of the Tournament award, while Ethan Sampson scooped the Player of the Series. So Komesho from Namibia has now raised the bar at this, the most prestigious youth tournament on the continent. This can only add to the magic of the Metropolitan Premier Cup.